So welcome everybody to the 7-day masterclass for Clan 16 at Outscale. I'll just cover a couple of minutes, a quick introduction, a little bit about myself. My name's Khurana. I'm founder of Outscale. I've been in the game industry for 10 plus years now, worked both in India and in US and a bunch of other studios across the board. And now for the last couple of years, have been running Outscale as at the intersection of education and helping sort of programmers upskill and get jobs in the game industry, because I've been on both sides of the equation. And today I have Harsh joining in as well. Harsh is the founder of Hashbyte. He's been in the industry for almost the same amount of time as I have. But I was on the hardcore development side. Harsh has been strongly on the business side as well, at least from what I understand. And this is the first time Harsh and I are talking about it, so this will be fun. So yeah, welcome, Harsh. Excited to have you. Any sort of opening thoughts that you want to throw out, and then we'll dive into more about your journey and Hashbyte's journey as well.
Yeah, sure. So first of all, I would like to thank the whole team of Outscal for having me for this call. And thank you, Mayank, for the introduction. Yeah, so it's been a great journey so far. So from I would say from childhood, I had the passion for gaming. So I was the kind of kid who used to burn whole pocket money to play games, and where parents used to scold you, just go and study, just go and study. And for us, nothing else matter. We just want to play the game. So I remember I started playing the game when I used to play that cassette console game.
Yep.
And it was like 1 rupee for 10 minutes. So
have you gone to those old age arcades behind curtain doors? You put coins into those arcade machines, right? Like I'm sure majority of the audience is like, what the fuck are these guys talking about, right? But okay, somebody still does that in the chat.
It was really tough time. So that room was very small where I used to go. So you hardly able to breathe. So we don't have that. In 1 rupee, you can't find air condition, the fan and everything. But we still had that passion. I used to play the game like Double Dragon, Mario, Islander, Excitebike, so a lot of stuff. So that was something used to drive me all the time. And even after completing my graduation, so when it was decided during my graduation that I wanted to start a venture. Then I was confused whether to go where. Then I decided I know about gaming only. I love gaming. I know how we play the game, what kind of passion or energy we hold while playing the game. So then I thought why not just to resume your hobby as a profession. So then I came to know, and at that time just Unity was launched when I started in 2013. So Unity was launched before that, but it was getting popular in India. So I remember a CC session. I was meeting one of my client, and he told me just go and learn the Unity, and it has a very good future. And after that, you can see now, definitely it has a very bright future. So the journey has been amazing so far, and that was one of my agenda to join this session with you, because I wanted to interact with the students who are now ready to come out of their college, and who are taking a step into their dreams, and so that we can just share our experience. Rest they have to do. It's their, I would say, passion and energy that will derive them. But at least we can just give them what we done in what situation that brought us to this point.
No,
so
perfect.
I'm really excited.
Perfect. I think there are too many relatable elements to the childhood days because those old arcade corners, and I see some folks in the chat also saying that, oh yes, they relate to that. So that's good to see. But yeah, so for the last, I think 4 to 5 years, you've been running Hashbyte Studios in India. That's the venture that you've been building from the ground up. So walk us through what was the journey, what was the inception, what was the birth story of Hashbyte and Hashbyte, and then what is the motivation to keep it going, and what kind of thing that you're trying to build with the studio?
So Like like if you have to like go and study some videos of like great entrepreneurs, like from where we can get an idea like how they have started, like how they started their journey. So I was one of the kid like who was checking like why the people start I would say a venture or a product. Okay, so I got to realize that most of them are working on any kind of problem. So like it can be a problem related to our daily life or technology life or anything.
Hey guys, hope you're enjoying this episode. My name is Mayank Grover. I'm the founder of Outscale. I wanted to take a minute to tell you about our flagship game development program where we take students all the way from starting to job ready in 6 months. We directly partner with over 100 plus game companies where we help students directly crack into these companies by giving them the right kind of skills, both technical as well as non technical, and getting them in front of these companies for interview processes. If you're interested in becoming a full stack game developer, please check out our website, www.outscale.com, or check the link in the description below. Now back to this episode.
Like we are here to solve the problem. So if we are like we are able to like solve that problem, then it is something we are like leading to a toward a good motivated venture. So I was like working in another studio before that, before like Hashbyte studio, just to gain the knowledge and experience. So the problem majorly I found in the service, specifically in the service based industry, was like whenever somebody is trying to develop any game, most of the projects get halted in between. So for me, that was a situation where I always wanted to solve that problem. Like why? What is the issue? Like most of the like investor, I would say, get disappointed because we have invested, but the game got stopped in between. We are not able to deploy the game. So that was the only like keen interest or passion which derived me. Okay, we want to start this studio, but we want to start in an approach that we want to achieve 100% success rate. So that is something we have achieved in Hashbyte Studio. From past 3 years, the day we started, we have the 100% success rate. That was one of the problem that we were solving. Like whatever we have started, whichever game we have started, we just connect to that game very clearly with the passion, with a positive energy, so that we can take that game to the stores. If we are not able to take the game to the store, then it's like just wastage of time and energy both. So that was the first problem that I wanted to solve before like starting this venture. And second was I was very much into the gaming. I was very much aware of the processes and everything. So that was something that I can see. It can be controlled by my skill set. So that was the another thing that I wanted to like start this journey. So it was a very sort of a funny story. And in 2018, like I and my CTO, his name is like Bakshish. So I called him. Okay, so we are starting the company. So let's not delay and let's start it from the Pune, because I am basically from Chandigarh. So I wanted to start this venture from a metro city, or like something equivalent to metro city. So we took our car 4 a.m. in the morning. I went to his home. I just picked him. We packed everything in our like car, and we just left from like Chandigarh. And to be honest, I had only one visit to Pune before that, and we had all that I would say gas stoves, cylinders, and all that baskets and everything in the car. Okay, let's go there, and we will see from there to like how we gonna start. Then from there, like we started, and it was like we just worked for 2-3 months from home, and after that we found an office and we started from there, and slowly we grew to a team of 20 people over there. So one of the USP that we have, so I tried like we just recruit the best resources so that we can work on some best games and like deliver the best games to the audience as well. So this is how the journey started, and it's gaming. So every day is very excited. It's not the boring things like we are doing the same thing again and again. So yeah, the 3 years passed away, and even in the COVID, it was still amazing as the day one and during the COVID. So now we are excited to get back to the office and like continue the expansion. And now we have started working on some of our own products and some technologies like blockchain and NFTs. So like in future after 6 months you will see NFT will take over the gaming as well. So things are getting pretty much excited, and we are also very excited to explore that. So in nutshell, the journey has been amazingly awesome so far.
Yeah. No, I think that's really interesting, and I think the NFT space is just getting bonkers. So I'm sure we'll dive into it in a little bit again. But guys, as I cover some opening questions, please feel free to put in your questions for Harsh in the chat. I'll curate the questions that I think are very interesting, etc. as well. But Harsh, another question from my side is, like usually people think about service industry versus product industry, right? And I think you mentioned a very important point that personally resonates very strongly with me, is like that you hire the best possible talent and then you work on the most kick-ass projects, right? And that's the kind of the right recipe for success, right? So you cannot. I think Harsh, you might be lagging a little bit. Are you able to hear me clearly?
Yeah, I'm able to hear you very clearly.
Okay. Sorry, I think the video was just lagging a little bit. So I think that's the best recipe for success, in my opinion, right? So, like when you sort of think about students and professionals who are either looking to get their first start in this industry or get a switch from, say, the regular tech industry, working in Android or whatever, right? And then thinking of becoming game developers, right? How do you sort of suggest them to think about this? That companies that are doing service for other companies and building game projects can also be kick-ass companies, versus not just look at, oh, this company's product company, so this must be good, this company's service, so this must be bad, right? It's not a black and white situation. So how do you suggest that people should look at a company and evaluate it from an outside and think about, hey, is this the right place for me to come and work and join, and the team, etc., right? So any general advice that young folks should follow when they're evaluating companies from the outside?
Yeah, definitely. I think want to work with a product-based company. So everybody think like if we go into the product-based company, we will get like more success in life, or we will get to learn about more. But I think I have a very different thinking about it. Like perception, my perception is quite different, because when you are working on a very big product. So when you are working on a very big product, so you are working with maybe 20 developers, 30 developers along you. Like for example, GTA 5 was one of the game that took $300 million to be developed, and they had a team of like 1,000 developers. So when you are working there, so you will be working on a small task that is assigned to you, or maybe a very small part of the game. So I would suggest to the youngster, if you guys want to learn very fast and like grow, and if you want to like work on a lot of opportunities together, then service-based industry is the best place to start you if you want to grow, if you want to learn. Because think like we have a whole game and we want you to come on the system and work on the core gameplay, work on the core analytics of the game, and like work on the core part of the game. It's not like we have like 100 of people and you may get some UI to be fixed, or maybe I have seen like a very small task. So my perception is like, if you want to grow very fast, if you want to learn about how exactly the tools are working for the gaming, how the gaming works, and if you want to gain the knowledge of overall process of the gaming, like starting from how we start from a game design document, then we move to the designs, actual designs, animation, development, and QA deployment. If you want to participate in all processes, definitely you should go with the service-based industry. And second is like, when we talk about the big products, every product-based company has small companies with tie-up who are working for them. For example, like if there is any company, they are building a big game. I'll just take a very random example. Like if we talk about like GTA, so Rockstar game, they have collaboration with some of the gaming studios who are providing some artwork to them, or maybe who are some working on some code skills to them. So it's not like that. Like product-based companies are also somewhere dependent on the service-based industry, because at the end of the day, if you are a good service provider, you have a very good, I would say, like work style that you can attain for the future, and you can like achieve a lot of success in that. So if you, my like in nutshell, if I have to conclude this conversation, I'm not saying product-based companies or like service-based companies, we can compare them, which one is better or bad. Both are good. But my thinking personally as a founder of like my company, I can tell like service-based industry is something if you want to learn a lot, if you want to grow faster as compared to you are learning in the product-based company, you can start with it. And definitely the students who are just about to start their career, I would highly recommend to start, if possible, from a service-based industry. And after some time, you can just, because every student has their dream company, and it is, and I think everybody should have that company in their mind. But in order to achieve that milestone, you can just try out and you can learn rapidly, and then you can give shot to your dream companies. So yeah,
perfect.
I prefer like if you guys want to start, just start with the service-based industry.
I think I completely agree with you, because at the end of the day, like you said, right, like even Rockstar might be working with a lot of studios to help them with the parts of the game itself. So at the end of the day, you're kind of contributing to the same project and the same product, just that the studio that you're working with or under, the name is different. That's the only thing. At the end of the day, you're getting the same kind of exposure. So as long as the company that you're going into has good team where you can learn and grow and get exposure to working on good kick-ass projects, I think that's the right recipe to evaluate anything and decide whether this is the company that I want to work with, right? So I think that's the right way of kind of summarizing it. But yeah, I definitely agree with you. I think there are a few questions regarding specific technicalities like C++, Unreal, etc. stuff. I'll cover, guys. I'll cover those in the orientation post our conversation with her. So don't worry, I'm not skipping those questions. Just don't feel disheartened. So I think there are a few questions regarding scope and all. How do you see the industry, especially given now the COVID scenarios, right? How do you see the industry kind of taking shape? What changes are you expecting in the next 5 to 10 years, at least from talent perspective and people perspective, right? Like COVID has just thrown everything haywire, but gaming is one place where it has gotten massive boom, right? So how do you see this kind of evaluate when talent is looking at saying, should I go work at Apple versus Uber versus a game studio, right? Which one? Where should I follow my passion?
Yeah. So definitely, see, when we talk about COVID, so COVID was something, it was a situation that everybody was unaware of it. And we never thought in our life, like even in our dreams, like we may fall into this pandemic. Like that is totally out of the syllabus, that question. So everybody was scared, okay, now what to do? The question is out of syllabus. So initially it was like very, I would say, difficult situation, not because like the business was impacted. It was a difficult situation because the executions were impacted. Because in India, we don't have a culture, like we have a culture, but only 10 to 15% companies allowed working from home. But we don't have like a huge culture. So even for us, like to create the new processes, like if everybody, like I have like a team of 20 people, if we have to manage all them from the home. So that was one of the difficult situation. Rest, I don't think so gaming was impacted during the COVID. The only thing that workload was increases because everybody was behind us. Okay, we want to launch the game within the COVID because people are free and they want to play the game. So just push it, push it. So even we got the burden of the projects. And yep, so some of the investors were scared to invest in the new games because they were not aware how the COVID will go while the future. So we faced some cut down in some sort of like new in games, like where we were like in the discussion phase. We were like conceptualizing those areas. So like for those games, and those got impacted because now people were scared to invest into this. But other than that, I don't think so. COVID made any major evening. What I personally felt. So when you are in a closed environment, just for example, now students who left the college and they have started working on maybe Google, maybe Microsoft, maybe Hashbyte Studio, maybe Outscal, anywhere. So what happens, like if we are at the office, then they have everybody over there and they have a team over there where they will get a lot of learning from them. But Right now, everybody is fighting individually more as compared to teamwork because of the COVID. Like we can't be interacting with each other, and everybody's like fed up of the calls. So I would say like if everybody was as at office for like the newcomers, it is a very good opportunity to see how the other people are working and like how the processes are following. But like still, if we have this kind of situation, yeah, we are working and we are sorting that out as well. So in order to pursue your dream, if you have any kind of dream, I would say you should just see which company has same kind of games for which you have the passion to create. Because, like, if you talk about Tencent, so they just work on the multiplayer game, okay, like PUBG. So mostly they have the profile in that. If we talk about GTA, they have like a game like San Andreas and GTA 5, that is an open world game. Now, if you want to explore more into the mobile technology, then yes, Hashbyte Studio can be your choice because we are into the mobiles and and one of our expertise to work on the board games. So I would say in our business, like we have a lot of categories. Like if we talk about mobile development, Android development, iOS development, those categories are very limited. But if you think like in our like business, we have a lot of categories like multiplayer game, 3D game, 2D game, open world game, board game. Like I can count car race, single player, third up, like n number of choices you have. So I would say first see what is your passion, like in what kind of games excite you, and if you see that game you want to build it, then just select the company and mostly what kind of companies are working in that particular segment. So that is one of the things that user can define. And if you found like based on your, I would say calculation, if you see Google is amazing, go for Google. If you see Hashbyte is amazing, you can go for Hashbyte. So it's just like how you want to start. So this is the decision that you have to take from your end, and after that you have plenty of options into the market.
Right. I think Harsha was asking, by the way, there's just so many questions. I lost where Harsha's question is. It's quite far up, but he was asking specifically when you are hiring young engineers as game developers, like especially within your team, what is it that you guys are evaluating while hiring young talent? How should they think about preparation?
Yeah, so like during the hiring, when we talk about like somebody who just left from the office, so for my studio, only the talent matters. So first of all, we are not like behind the numbers, like somebody is having this percent, somebody is having that percent. The only thing we look out for is a passion, and second is the skill set, and third is the will to grow. Like if you have a will to grow in the future, and if we have taken you around, maybe you are not good at the communication skills, but you're like passion for like coding, you have a very good knowledge or keen knowledge of your code, and you know the basics of the technology or the language that we are using. So that is the I would say primary skill set that we look for. And second is your behavior, like your passion. Like for example, if you have a very good skill set, but at the end of the day you are not that much responsible, or you are not giving direction to that particular skill set, then again it won't be very useful, because we won't be able to direct that skill set into a direction. So for us, like if we have to go and hire a game developer, a new game developer, the only thing we look for personally is first of all the passion, second the love for gaming, and third like how fast they can adapt the new things, like how fast they can adapt the coding languages, but and how they have built their own base for that particular like technology.
Yeah. No, I think like kind of connected to that. I've generally seen across the board, companies moving away from degrees and looking at, because you mentioned specifically, right, the passion for the games, right, and the skills. So I feel that's the right recipe to look at. Hey, if I'm working on Unity, do you know a little bit about Unity? Can you build basic games and have the passion to learn and grow on the policies and the practices that are done in the studios?
Exactly.
And I'm seeing across the board in the industry, because I see there's a lot of chatter in the chat regarding, hey, I'm from mechanical background, I'm from XYZ background, not from a computer science background. Am I still qualified to become a game developer, right? So generally, what's your answer to that, the passion versus degree answer?
Yeah, I'll tell you two things. I'll give you the real example. It's not like though we work in the virtual world, but let's now get realistic. So I have a friend. Okay, so he wasn't able to complete his even like 10th class or then 12th class because of some like medical issue. But he had a passion for technology. He had a system. I'm talking about like 2005 or six or I think seven. He had that passion. He had a system. He learned everything. He learned like starting from C, C++
Yeah.
objective. He wasn't even having a degree of 12th class at that time. And now I can challenge like that my friend can compete with one of like even like some of the best game developers as well that we have in India.
Yep. Yep.
So
Yep.
degree matters. I'm not saying like just don't take it in that way. Okay, so degree don't matter. Like they just drop the college, and because most of entrepreneurs drop the college and go, no. See, degree matters for the experiences. Like they
Yeah.
teach you how to handle the situation. You will get exposed over there. You will explore over there, like how the things work. But at the end of the day, if you are having 90%, but at the time when you are come to the real world and you have to code, and over there, like you are not that passionate or like you are getting like behind. So that is something will affect you. And I think even like in Indian now culture, like now things have changed. Like everybody is like doing the practical more during the studies as well. So I would suggest in your free time, go start coding. If you want to go into the development, if you want to go into the designing, just go to the CCD, just sit around, start drawing something. Just explore your passion, just explore your talent, explore your skill set. Because after 1 or 2 years, nobody will ask for your degree. Then they will ask for your experience. Only
Yeah.
initially, something we have sort of criteria.
Yes.
And in Hashbyte Studio, generally, if the person is very talented, so we don't have like that mandate degree requirement as well. Like if that person skill set is very good, because at the end of the day, I'm worried about the skill set only, like how they take the opportunity, how they deliver the task. That's it. They should have that passion of learning and to grow.
Yeah, no, I perfectly agree with you, and I think because we are working with hundreds of game studio to help them hire the right talent, we are seeing very same sentiment that you just mentioned, right? Like degree is good to have. It's not the it's the most. It's not the most essential thing, and it's definitely not the only thing that will get you a job, right? Especially
Exactly.
because this industry is so technically competitive, right? You need be to be a good game developer. You need to be a good developer and then learn about gaming and game development, right? So it's a combination, and that's where the challenge is hard, but then the passion is something that like makes people stay, right? Like we both have been in the industry for more than a decade, and it's just that passion, right, that keeps us going.
Yes,
So
but I want to like add on one more thing when we talk about passion, because sometimes even I feel we use that word oftenly, like passion. So, guys, I want to like tell you to everyone, like passion will be valuable if that passion has a direction. But if that passion don't have a direction, then it's not valuable.
yeah.
I'll give a very simple example. You are going to gym. You have a passion for like gymming, and you want to work out, and you want to like make like develop big muscles. Okay, you'll just go, and from the first day you are like trying to lift like 150 kg, 70 kg. It will lead you to the injury only. It
Yeah.
won't like lead you for the big muscle. Though you have the passion, like okay, I'll go.
Yeah.
आज तो मैं मतलब कहते हैं ना, तोड़ के रख दूंगा. मतलब you had that passion, but
Yeah.
again that the one thing which is missing is direction. So if you don't have the direction for your passion, for your energy, for your goal, for your milestone, then it is something definitely you will come up with an injury. So if you want to avoid an injury, if you want to build good muscle, it's just not you need to just lift the weights. You have to work on the diet and so many things as well, like the medical things as well. So just give a proper direction to your passion so that you don't waste your energy. Just conserve that energy and apply on a particular skill set. And
Perfect. No.
last but not the least, even I myself was a very average person, even in the school, even in the college. Even in the college, like I was totally lost. When I left the college, I was totally lost. I used to get the backs in college, then we cleared it out. But it was something, again, that never affected my confidence to start my venture. So because again, I know I had that passion, and even I knew like how to direct that passion. So that is the
Yeah.
key. Just
No,
direct your goals and direct your passion.
No, I think that's very, very appropriate given today's world where there are so many distractions, right? Social media, YouTube, etc., right? There's
Yes,
a
yes.
crap ton of distractions. But yeah,
Yeah.
so perfect. So I think we're just hitting upon the time limit. So I don't want to keep you for too long because I know I committed you for 30 minutes only. So, but before I let you go, there is something, some small 2-minute fun activity that I want to do with the rest of the folks as well.
Yep.
Aman, if you can enable the video, I'll request everybody to switch their Zoom to gallery view and please pop up your camera. I promise this will be the next 3 minutes will be very fun and engaging. There are more than 100 people on the call today, and this will help us get a sense of who we have in the audience, what are they excited about, and hopefully this will be a new way for us to engage with the audience as well. So if you can all pop onto the camera, we'll play a very quick, short camera-based game, and this will be fun. Okay, so as I can see, majority of you guys are popping in, so thanks for participating. If you don't have cam, don't worry, it's okay. You can still theoretically participate. So here's how the game goes. Okay, everybody's going to use their thumb to cover their camera. Okay, so essentially you're using the thumb to cover your cam, whether it's on your laptop, phone, etc. So just cover it up for a minute. Okay, so everybody just cover the camera. Harsh, you can also participate as well. So you can just cover the camera. Okay, so I'm going to say out a question, and if the answer to that question is yes, then you remove your hand from the camera. Okay, so it's a very simple game, right? So for example, right, if your name starts with the letter M, you remove your hand. Okay, so now we can see there are a few folks with their name M and they've removed. Okay, so hopefully everybody's gotten the idea. Perfect. So now we'll dive into the real fun. Okay, so cover up the camera. All right, so if you have played any mobile game in the last 24 hours, show us your faces. Okay, good number of folks playing mobile games. Perfect. All right, next question. If you have played a console game in the last 24 hours, then show us your faces. Oh, very few. Okay, so a lot of our audience on mobile, but very few on consoles. Okay, perfect. So next question. If you have played any game in the last 2 hours, then show us your face. Okay, as you can see, Harsh and I have both our cameras covered because too busy to play games. So, all right, perfect. So if you have thought of building games professionally before you heard of Outscale. All right, awesome, perfect. So a good number of folks have thought of doing this professionally. Perfect. Harsh, do you want to add in a couple of questions from your side? Anything fun that gives you a flavor of what the audience we are talking about?
Okay, I'll try.
Yeah, go for it. Any yes or no question is good enough. Yeah.
So I'll just add on one question. The folks who think like playing mobile game is much more fun as compared to playing console game.
So if you think playing mobile games are much more fun than playing console games, it's a very subjective question, right? Like I enjoy equally both. Come on, like it's a tough one to answer. Okay,
But still, I
okay,
just want to.
perfect. So I'll just add one question. If you have actually built any game professionally and launched it on the Play Store, whether it's for fun, whatever, right? Like, have you launched something on any website, YouTube video, etc.? If you have launched a game. Oh, so a few people have actually launched. Perfect. Awesome. So thanks everyone for participating. Hopefully you guys got to know a little bit about the rest of the audience. It's a fun sort of 2-minute game that gets the juices flowing and gets everybody to participate. So
Yeah,
thanks again, Harsh, for joining in. And this was really for sharing. Uh,
I think I lost your voice at the end.
Dropped a bit here. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, you are audible now.
Okay,
Sorry.
now.
Okay, perfect. So thanks, Harsh, for joining. It was really great having you on, and thank you for participating. Would love to host you again, but any closing thoughts before you jump off?
Thanks, guys. All the very best for your future. And I would say keep on playing the games and just follow your passion. It will come.
Perfect. Perfect. Directed passion, right? Directed in the right direction. Perfect. Awesome. Thanks, Harsh, and have a good rest.